Hi guys, Borgio here, back with another raid guide. This time for the final mob inside of the Molten pools, Perador the Mighty. If you haven't pulled this before, then be aware that this mob is a one-time deal. If you fail and wipe, he will depop until the next reset of the zone. Saying that, however, he isn't overly difficult if you're good at reacting to what's going on. Perador has two phases, one from 100% to 90, and the other from 90 till death. We position the mob side on here, but pull wherever your raid is comfortable. The mob does have a pulsing AE throughout the fight, which will hit every 8 seconds. It will average for around 900,000 hit points, so ensure all of your raid force has over this amount, preferably over 1 million. This AE is called Flay, and this AE is not range based. Perador is considered a tier above what has already been killed inside pools, so resist needs to be higher, aim for about 150,000. Apart from this AE, Perador will not do anything else apart from strike your main tank for some pretty heavy hits. Over 1 million damage a swing to start with, and he likes to swing once a second. Once you've burned him down to 90%, he'll become immune to damage and mount his T-Rex. As long as your MT doesn't move during transition, the mob won't move at all upon mounting. Phase 2 is all about a DPS push. Perador will be gaining damage stacks the longer the fight continues, but will lose them if someone dies. You have very few deaths to play with before he enrages, but you can tactically sacrifice someone if the damage is getting too high on the main tank. Phase 2 also introduces a couple of new mechanics. First off, your main tank will get hit with an uncurable curse called Shredded Flesh. This is a low damage, around 300k, damage dot. Secondly, a member of the raid will get hit with a trauma debuff occasionally called Marked as Prey. This needs to be cured as soon as possible. However, what is special about this is that it takes 5 cures to get rid of it. Along with the pulsing damage throughout the fight, this can be awkward to manage, but needs to be cured. If you fail, a new red message will appear. Player has failed to get rid of their marker's prey. You hear thundering steps approaching them. We haven't had this happen enough times for me to accurately work out what happens, but I believe the affected person will either gain aggro, possibly getting the raid wiped due to frontal, or they will radiate damage. Either way, don't miss the cures. The next new mechanic will be a red text frontal bite. You will get the message, Perador the Mighty prepares to unleash a massive bite directly in front of him, and the mob itself will say, bite their heads clean off. Ensure that the raid is all positioned in the rear arc of the mob and have your MT run through the mob to be behind while this goes off. The mob will stay facing forwards throughout. Once it is finished, have your MT run forward and resume tanking. This is the whole fight, and that's all you need to know really. As normal, here are the class breakdowns. For tanks, save cooldown abilities for when you're hit with Shredded Flesh. This incoming, plus the regular swings, plus the ticking AE can lead to a bad time. Also ensure that you joust in and out quickly and efficiently to avoid the mob moving. For healers, the HPS can be pretty intense. Everyone needs to be topped off at all times, otherwise a bad combo can quickly kill people. Watch the raid window like a hawk for cures and cure every time you see a trauma. Melee DPS, fight as normal. Be aware you may want to joust away when the tank jousts to avoid any nasty incoming damage if they're too slow to move the mob back. Range DPS, mages in particular, look to assist with trauma cures and DPS as normal. All in all, it's not a hard fight mechanics wise, just from pure incoming damage. Mitigate that and grats on the loot. As usual, like, favourite, leave a comment and subscribe. I'm Borgio, and I'll see you guys next time.